Hi everyone. Today we're analyzing one of the biggest business stories of 2025 to 2026. Amazon is cutting 30,000 corporate jobs, the largest layoff in the company's history. But here's what the headlines aren't telling you. This isn't really about AI replacing workers. It's about something much more interesting. And it's a perfect example of how to read between the lines in business news. Hi, I'm Sosan from BC English. Quick question. Have you seen the news about Amazon cutting 30,000 jobs? It's been reported everywhere. CNBC, Bloomberg, Reuters, all the major outlets. And a lot of people are asking, is this about AI taking our jobs? Should I be worried? Well, I spent some time looking at the actual financial data, and what I found was fascinating. Today we'll explore everything from corporate euphemisms to financial terms to critical thinking skills. Whether you're B1, B2, or C1, there's vocabulary here for you. And by the end, you're going to know how to read business news like a pro. There's a free worksheet in the description if you want to practice afterwards. But even if you just watch, you're going to learn a lot. Ready? Let's figure this out together.
Now to breaking news this morning. Amazon announcing a new round of layoffs, the latest big company to cut its workforce. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, joins us with those details. Good morning to you, Rebecca.
Good morning to you, Robin. And this is despite a booming business. This morning, Amazon announcing they will be cutting 16,000 jobs.
Basic vocabulary. B1, layoffs. Let's start simple. Layoffs just means jobs are eliminated. People are told, we don't need this role anymore. It's a neutral word, but the experience for the person, not neutral at all. Example, Amazon announced layoffs affecting thousands of employees.
So how do layoffs and bottom line thinking fit into that?
All right, so I've made a list of my first round of layoffs.
We're knee-deep in layoffs.
Downsizing sounds almost polite, right? Like we're just rearranging furniture. But in business English, downsizing usually means fewer people. Same idea as layoffs, just dressed up a little.
Downsizing is about saving yourself.
With all the downsizing that's been going on around here, we wouldn't want to have to tell Berenson you've been slacking now, would we?
So they're downsizing, which is code for firing.
Headline. A headline is the title of the news story, and headlines are designed to grab attention, not explain everything. So if you only read the headline, you usually miss the real reason. This is how we use it in a sentence. The headline focused on job cuts, not financial strategy.
It's all over the headlines, all over the country.
Yes, newspapers have their headlines.
This maiden voyage of Titanic must make headlines.
Revenue. Now this one is important. Revenue is all the money coming in. Sales, income, the top number. And here's the tricky part. High revenue does not automatically mean the company is healthy. Example, Amazon's revenue increased year over year.
As you rightly point out, such an arrangement would provide a steady source of revenue to the store at no additional labor cost.
Year 8, profits and revenue both go up, but not in a commensurate fashion.
On the revenue curve, you will get exactly the same amount of revenue.
Profit is what's left after expenses. So yes, a company can make a lot of money and still feel financial pressure. That's where things get interesting. Example, despite strong revenue, profit declined.
Anything that achieves efficiency and maximizes profit.
Year 8, profits and revenue both go up, but not in a commensurate fashion.
After that, after we start making a profit, you take the lion's share, I get 33 1/3.
Intermediate vocabulary. B2, workforce optimization. Okay, this is a classic. Workforce optimization sounds positive, optimized, efficient. But very often, this is corporate code for we're cutting staff to save money. Example, the company announced workforce optimization to cut costs.
This is the second round of layoffs in just 3 months. The retail giant let 14,000 corporate employees go in October.
So, as you can see, my priorities at CJ's Toys were about optimization of profits and always looking for ways to expand.
Efficiency gains. Efficiency gains means doing more with less. And let's be honest, when companies say this after layoffs, it usually means the same amount of work, fewer people. Example, management promised efficiency gains after the layoffs.
She could be so casually cruel, all in the name of excellence and efficiency.
Call them efficiency experts, but what you're really doing is interviewing for your own job.
They sent a message to workers today, and the company says they have been working to strengthen the organization by reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is all the layers, approvals, paperwork, meetings about meetings. Companies love to say they're reducing bureaucracy. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it just means removing middle management. Example, the company reduced bureaucracy to speed up decisions.
Plus, I can focus 100% on patient care as opposed to being a doctor where you have to deal with the bureaucracy.
Handle some of the more mundane jobs, overseeing bureaucracy.
They're penetrating the bureaucracy!
Infrastructure. Infrastructure is the foundation. Data centers, servers, systems, not flashy, but very expensive. And this word is key to understanding what Amazon is really doing. Example, Amazon invested heavily in cloud infrastructure.
It's a three-step systematic attack on the entire national infrastructure.
Once we owned their communication system, we started going after their physical infrastructure.
With organizational changes that started in October, and they are now complete.
Capital expenditure. Capital expenditure is money spent on long-term assets. Think buildings, data centers, hardware. This is not lunch money. This is serious, long-term spending. Example, capital expenditure increased due to new data centers.
Vendors, capital expenditure budgets, future needs.
Our position in the market would create a capital expenditure of $5 billion for us over a 10-year period.
Operating cash flow. Operating cash flow is the cash a company generates from daily business. And when this drops, companies start making uncomfortable decisions. Example, operating cash flow declined despite strong sales.
So you'll have to be prepared to cash flow the first 6 months.
Trust funds don't count for shit because it's a red flag that says mommy and daddy could turn off the cash flow one day.
If the license on point conception is delayed even slightly, our cash flow dries up.
Year over year just means compared to the same time last year. Companies love this comparison because it makes trends look cleaner.
While year-over-year revenue continues to climb, operating costs are higher than ever.
I project a year-over-year increase in sales, placing these wines in upscale restaurants and specialty bottle shops.
A quarter is 3 months, and yes, companies live and die by quarterly numbers. The pressure is real. Example, revenue grew year over year by 15%.
No, I actually had a slow first quarter.
Any fool can feel good when you're winning, but when you're down 27 points in the fourth quarter, that's when you gotta ask yourself, who are you gonna call?
Market share is how much of the industry you control. And in tech, losing market share feels like losing oxygen. Example, the company reported losses this quarter.
I think F&C has an opportunity to double our market share by giving people what they want and what they need.
We expanded our market share tenfold in 2 years.
Advanced vocabulary C1, C2. Organizational restructuring. Organizational restructuring sounds very serious and very official. In practice, it often means teams are changing, roles are disappearing, and yes, people are leaving. Example, Amazon continues to expand its market share in cloud services.
Expertise in corporate organizational structure coupled with my newfound passion for
Convince whoever's in charge to hire me so I can make my way up the organizational structure.
I will say, though, that we did get our letters in our organizational structure from white fraternities and sororities.
Resource allocation. Resource allocation is just deciding where money goes. And money going to AI infrastructure means money not going somewhere else. Example, the layoffs were part of a broader organizational restructuring.
It's about an equitable and efficient allocation of resources.
Free cash flow, this one is huge. Free cash flow is what's left after operating costs and big investments. When this drops, alarms start ringing in boardrooms. Example, free cash flow fell sharply due to infrastructure investments.
If the license on point conception is delayed even slightly, our cash flow dries up.
Debt issuance. Debt issuance means borrowing money, usually by selling bonds. Companies do this when they want cash now and are confident they'll pay it back later.
Yeah, I solved the debt issue with private equity money.
Strategic investment. A strategic investment is spending for the future. Pain now, advantage later. That's the mindset here.
The Strategic Investment Fund, designed to partner with for-profit companies and investment funds around the world.
I eliminated the Galvin problem, and at the exact same time, I closed funding on our first strategic investment.
Competitive positioning. Competitive positioning is how strong you are compared to rivals. And in AI, nobody wants to be second. Example, Amazon is strengthening its competitive positioning in cloud computing.
We do realize this is a very competitive position.
It's still a highly competitive position.
Corporate euphemisms. Corporate euphemisms are polite words for uncomfortable truths. They make bad news sound less bad, great for PR, confusing for learners. Example, workforce optimization is a common corporate euphemism.
Because human interest story is a euphemism for stories about weak-minded, vulnerable, ignorant people, to put in newspapers read by.
That's what they call a euphemism, Freddie.
Read between the lines. To read between the lines means understanding what isn't said directly. This is an advanced business English skill, and honestly a life skill. Example, workforce optimization is a common corporate euphemism.
I've read between the lines and heard you overtly.
I should have read between the lines.
Read between the lines, Theo.
Hyperscaler. A hyperscaler is a massive cloud company. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, we're talking enormous scale. Example, Amazon is one of the world's largest hyperscalers. Infrastructure build-out. Infrastructure build-out means expanding capacity, whether physical or technical, more servers, more data centers, more money. Example, the infrastructure build-out required billions in spending. Severance pay. Severance pay is money given to employees after termination. It helps soften the landing, but it doesn't erase the impact. Example, laid-off workers received severance pay.
Severance pay for 19 years.
Listen, I'll call payroll and have them get your severance pay ready.
We'll receive severance pay and a glowing letter of recommendation.
What's really happening? So when we put all of this together, this isn't about AI replacing people today. It's about freeing up money to build AI for tomorrow. Example of use. This decision reflects financial pressure, not automation. The real story. And this is the big takeaway. Corporate language often hides financial pressure. So when you understand the vocabulary, you understand the reality. Example, understanding business English means understanding what's unsaid. So what's the real story? Amazon isn't cutting 30,000 jobs because AI is replacing workers. They're cutting jobs because they need billions of dollars to buy the AI infrastructure to compete with Microsoft, Google, and Meta. Corporate language often hides uncomfortable truths. Financial data tells the real story. Reading between the lines is an essential skill. Context matters. Look at timing, numbers, and competition. Thanks for watching. If you want to practice this vocabulary, I've created a quiz and worksheet, links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe for more English in the News lessons where we learn real business vocabulary from current events. What do you think? Is Amazon making the right decision? Let me know in the comments. Hi everyone. Today we're analyzing one of the biggest business stories of 2025 to 2026. Amazon is cutting 30,000 corporate jobs, the largest layoff in the company's history. But here's what the headlines aren't telling you. This isn't really about AI replacing workers. It's about something much more interesting. And it's a perfect example of how to read between the lines in business news. Hi, I'm Sosan from BC English. Quick question. Have you seen the news about Amazon cutting 30,000 jobs? It's been reported everywhere. CNBC, Bloomberg, Reuters, all the major outlets. And a lot of people are asking, is this about AI taking our jobs? Should I be worried? Well, I spent some time looking at the actual financial data, and what I found was fascinating. Today we'll explore everything from corporate euphemisms to financial terms to critical thinking skills. Whether you're B1, B2, or C1, there's vocabulary here for you. And by the end, you're going to know how to read business news like a pro. There's a free worksheet in the description if you want to practice afterwards. But even if you just watch, you're going to learn a lot. Ready? Let's figure this out together. Basic vocabulary. B1, layoffs. Let's start simple. Layoffs just means jobs are eliminated. People are told, we don't need this role anymore. It's a neutral word, but the experience for the person, not neutral at all. Example, Amazon announced layoffs affecting thousands of employees.